So taxes were due, and then he discovered that his wife had a secret bank account. And he was planning on saying something to her about it this weekend, but clearly he was sketched out. So how did it all go?
Yeah, so he was going through some paperwork, and he needed something. He obviously wasn't searching for this because he didn't know this existed. But he did come across some account statements from a bank account that he knew absolutely nothing about. And he said there's zero issues in their marriage, but obviously this is extremely concerning, and his mind started just running from him. And he's like, does this mean she's going to leave me? Is there any other explanation? Is it common to have a secret account? And we did have somebody call and try to alleviate some of his worries by saying this happened to a buddy of his, and turns out she had this secret account because she was saving up money to get him a custom Harley, because he loves Harley-Davidson motorcycles.
Which is probably the same thing.
Totally.
That was happening in this case.
Totally. But I think we all did agree, like, this isn't necessarily common. And then Cassie did not quell any of his fears by letting him know that there are stay-at-home moms out there that do have a get-out fund just in case something happens and they need to have some money to fall back on.
Which I think is, you hate to endorse any kind of secrets in a relationship like that, but I certainly get it. I get it.
If there's issues in the relationship, for sure.
Yeah. There you are. You're taking care of everybody at home, but you're not bringing in any money yourself. And just in case, an insurance policy, sort of, if you have to break away. I get where she's coming from.
My friend has one.
Yeah?
Yeah, and for just reason.
But when he finds out about it, we're going to have a situation like this. Tavi's got the update.
Hey, Bert Show. I appreciate the discussion and allowing me to hear the different perspectives. I flat out asked her about the account. My questioning caught her off guard, which I think was a good thing. She had no choice but to be honest, since she didn't have any time to prepare a lie. Turns out that one of the theories on your show was entirely accurate. She's a stay-at-home mom. She admitted that she's had this account just in case. She said that her best friend's divorce left her rattled and feeling vulnerable. She blamed me for her needing it. It's true that I wanted her to be a stay-at-home mom. She didn't fight me on it, but she says it's not what she would have preferred. She also said she's nervous about what could happen to her if, after years being out of the workforce, I decide to divorce her. She's afraid she won't be able to support herself if she's starting from entry level so much later in life. That's true, though. She was watching her best friend struggle and scrap by after being in that exact situation. Of course, I'm relieved the money isn't because she's leaving me. However, I'm angry that she's preparing for if I leave her. Come on now. I told her that I expected her to deposit that money into our joint account and close the account. She refuses and now insisting that she wants to go back to work and build a career. I want her to wait until both our kids are in high school. She says that will be too late in her life to establish herself. How do I calm her down and make her realize she's being ridiculous and selfish? Ooh, I don't like him anymore. I don't like him anymore.
No, she's not being ridiculous and selfish. She's got needs also. And you asked her to stay at home. She did it reluctantly, but that's not really what's making her happy. So
it's one or the other. Either she gets to have the account, she stays at home until the kids are in high school, or the account goes into your joint account and she gets to go back into the workforce again.
I wouldn't try to convince her that she was being ridiculous or selfish at all, because she's not. But if I were him, I would feel a little bit of deception, and I definitely would be in a place.
Yeah, I wouldn't be feeling great about it.
No.
But, once you get through the tension, I think he's got to look at what's real here. And what's real is she wants to have her own career also. I know so many women that just assume this was going to be their role, even though they didn't feel naturally about it. So they stay at home with the kids, and it's not who they were, and they fought that fight over and over and over again, and then they lose themselves because their husband have put the request in that you stay home with the kids. And it creates this kind of tension here, and she just wants to go back to work.
I think his reaction to her saying all of this and then immediately going, all right, close that account, put all the money in our joint account, tells me exactly why she needs to have that account in the first place.
Because he won't listen to her.
Yeah, like you're not respecting her feelings about this at all, and you're going straight into how do I convince her she's being selfish and irrational? How does she convince you that this is a rational thing to need because she tells you about this and confides in you? I mean, yeah, you had to catch her red-handed, whatever, but then you flip it to like put that money in her account. That feels weird to me, and that is like why she has the just in case fund.
I'm going to have his back a little bit here because if it was me and I found out Bart had this account, I'd make the request too that it go into our joint account because I would be so hurt and so deceived by it. So I don't want to like invalidate his feelings, but I do think it's harsh that, you know, you can't invalidate hers by wanting your feelings to be validated. So it's not fair to call her ridiculous and selfish when she feels she needs this. But I understand you are hurt and you are lashing out, but you need to check yourself.
Yeah, I think the smaller thing is where that cash is going to go. I think the big thing is what's going to make your wife happy?
Exactly.
And what's going to make you happy here? There's got to be some kind of compromise.
The Bert Show.